them, what they want talks on. And to me, like I said earlier, confidence just comes as a result of doing all this, right? You can't really teach confidence because then that's just fake, right? That's just sort of like fronting. That's putting on a persona. That's sort of having some mechanical way of saying, well, I'm confident. Now, there are some psychological, physiological tricks. If you guys know the TED Talk, that one of the presidents, where like the power stance. So you can do a little fake it till you make it kind of stuff, because there is some, physiology that, standing like this, I think it's like standing like this, actually does something to your brain chemistry and makes you feel more empowered and confident. So you can do that, which will help. Same thing like I talk about the affirmations. I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. I am confident in who I am and what I do. I'm confident. So these are tapes, things that you can say, write, think over and over. If you don't feel it, again, fake it till you make it, because it's changing your chemistry. So there are things like that that you can do to help accelerate and do a little fake it till you make it. But really, the sustainable, right, the sort of innate, organic confidence comes from doing all the things that we talked about today. Figuring out what is your passion, your purpose, your values, embodying them in your work and your daily life as best as you can. Managing your time and energy, you being in control of your time and energy rather than having the day or other people or other things, being in control of it. Active listening communication, because the more you get into your body or in control of your day, your thoughts and your feelings, you can assert yourself, interact with people, get what you need, be present and listen to them, and help them with whatever they need. And all of these things just make you who you are, right? And it's just about owning it. And we talked about bragging and owning the things that we're good at, and recognizing and being self-aware of the things that we want to adjust and the areas that we want to grow. And so as all of these things get integrated and come together, oh, there you are. There you are. Where life becomes pretty seamless in terms of how you navigate work, relationships, leisure time, personal time, your exercise, your food, all of that becomes a part of, your universe that you are the master of, right? You're the master of your own universe. And, that gives you the power to create the life that you want. And it enables you to mitigate stress and mitigate unpleasant situations and make your life a little bit easier. It doesn't mean that everything's going to go perfect if you do all of this. It just means that you'll be able to navigate it better, with less stress, with less resistance, with a little bit more flow and harmony. But situations are going to come up, but those situations, the problems, the confrontations, those are all opportunities. Those are opportunities for you to grow, opportunities for you to exercise these muscles, learn a new skill, be able to verbalize something you never verbalized before. So even, this doesn't mean smooth sailing, right? It means that I can surf through a tidal wave, or I can, wade in the water whenever, as required. I can navigate however I need to navigate. And I'm going to benefit from whatever the external situation is that I'm being confronted with, because it's my time to deal with that. And I also can create situations that I want to develop, that I want to grow, that I want to experience. So it's both, right? Some things we need to experience to learn and grow, and those are the things that we don't have any control over, but we just have to accept them. And then there are the things that we want to create for ourselves. So it's having the balance between the two, right? And that's leading yourself to success. So, the confidence just comes with, what? This is my life. I'm in charge of my life. And as much as I can be in control of it, because we can't control everything, I'm in control of it. I'm thinking for myself. I'm feeling my feelings. I'm taking action where I need to take action to make my life better. I'm being of service by doing my work, or by just being present for someone. Right? So these are all things that make us successful in being a human being. think that's the goal, really. Because the outer success and the inner success is going to be different for everyone, right? But if we all are able to get in touch with who we are and be the best version of that, I mean, to me, that's the ultimate success. You know, and people and everyone will benefit. And the more that each one of us does that for ourselves, we become, you know, we affect our community, our people, our families, whatever our environment. I like to say, you know, we have our own sphere of influence. So the more people that become leaders in their own lives, especially women, as we talked about before, because we don't see great examples of women leaders, whether it's leaders in external positions or leaders at home in their own lives, right? We don't see a lot of examples of it. So the more of us that can do that, that starts to shift the paradigm. And then we become, first of all, energetically it shifts, but also we become examples for other people, right? So it's really, really important. So that's why, I mean, I just want you to understand, like, how important it is that each one of you guys came today and took the time for yourself to really think about this stuff. Like, you didn't only do yourself a service, but you're doing women a service and you're doing mankind a service, okay? So how about that for a finale? So, you know, I just want to really honor you guys all for that and know that you will blossom. You know, if you just, the more you are aligned with who you are, it's a process, right? It's organic. So you are going to, like I always say, the acorn does not become the oak tree overnight. It's a process. You know, the caterpillar to become the butterfly, it's a process. The grapes to the bottle of vintage wine is a process. And so as long as you are aligned with your own process of unfoldment, you're good. You're good. And it's, you know, it's just, we're not taught this anywhere from what I can see. And we're taught the opposite by all the messages that we get from external sources. Specifically, hello, you know, it's only getting worse with this, and because, you know, every tweet, everything that you do is now being watched. And that information about who you are is going to be used to sell you something or other things. So it's getting even harder in some ways to maintain your individuality and maintain your own consciousness, right? Your own thoughts, your own opinions, your own what's right for me, not because there's, you know, a viral video that, or, you know, an ad that's saying buy this or do this, but that has nothing to do with me. But everyone gets swept up and caught up in it. So it's maintaining, being discerning about what you let into your life and the decisions that you make, and not just going with the flow. Not just because everyone's playing Candy Crush on the subway doesn't mean that you should be playing Candy Crush on the subway, you know? So, you know, and the other thing is, you know, that all of the technology, I mean, what makes me crazy now is like everything you order online, order online, order online. It's like, no, I like to go to a store. I like to go to a bank teller. I would like to have a human interaction. Because it's getting harder and harder to maintain our humanity because we are becoming robots. Because everything is now done this way. And a lot of our lives are lived online. And that really is disconnected from what makes us human. And as humans, we are social beings. And especially women. We need to be in a room with other human beings. We need to have human interaction. And we're losing that. And clearly we can see what's going on. Oh, it's much easier to be so nasty to people. People are going crazy. It's easier to just, you know, kill people or have a massacre. Because we're losing that touch with the humanness part of ourselves. And being in our body. That's why, you know, I'm always getting people to be in our body. Because when you're in your heads, you're not in your body. When you're online, you're not in your body. So again, I'm not saying that this is all bad. I'm saying use it appropriately and be conscious of when you're being a robot and when you need to have some human interaction. Be human. And even, you know, like I was saying before with these classes, everything's going online. Everyone's doing webinars. webinars and teleseminars. So there are these detached voices or heads or people. But like to be flesh and blood in the room of the body, it's a completely different dynamic. Right? And you guys are all feeding off of each other. I am interacting with you, I'm feeding off, I can tailor things to what you guys need subconsciously more than consciously. But that's why it's so important for us to maintain our humanity. And so, again, I commend you guys for doing the hard work, or for at least, committing to doing this, because it's not even just about you. It's about the future.